Perhaps the funniest thing of all is the new slogan that the Biden team somehow just came up with on the fly. They got a brand new slogan, and this is going to somehow fix all their problems over there in Biden land. I mean, this is just embarrassing, I think, frankly, for everyone. The Today Show apparently got its hands on an audio clip of a call that Team Biden had with donors after that disastrous debate, because everybody's like, oh my gosh, you can't run this guy. And here's the slogan. I find it hysterically funny. This is the spokesperson for the Biden campaign trying to massage this just a little bit there on the Today Show. Let's go to it.
Campaign officials addressing hundreds of donors on a conference call last night. The audio obtained by NBC News from someone who was on the call.
The media has spent a ton of time blowing this out of proportion.
He's probably in better health than most of us.
Ooh, okay. He's probably in better health than most of us. Doesn't that just make you want to vote for Joe Biden now? I mean, it's like when they say inflation's not bad. I mean, inflation is actually better in the U.S. than it is in the rest of the world. And I'm like, well, for goodness sakes, you guys, we are the world's reserve currency. We are the biggest steel nation, the hegemonic power of the world. It should be better off. But we all should be better off than the 81-year-old who seems to be suffering from dementia there on stage. So they're gaslighting us over and over and over and over again. This is the co-chair I want to show you of the Biden campaign, who's also revealing kind of a disturbing new message. This is her on CNN, and Erica Hill, who was filling in for Aaron Burnett, keeps going back to her and saying, but, you know, this is what we saw. And she comes back with this. Watch.
Here, what can the president do? What would he do in a second term? Would he push to expand the Supreme Court?
Well, I certainly don't want to get in front of the president's own words on that, but I think you hit the nail on the head, Erica. This is a truly terrifying moment that we're seeing in America, that a president of the United States can effectively have immunity on a number of fronts. We are seeing the Supreme Court, which, you know, Donald Trump put 3 conservative justices on the court, which are ruling on a lot of these decisions in a favor that is not congruent with where the American people stand. We are constantly seeing 6-3 rulings on this court. And it's important to note, Erica, that the next president of the United States could pick 2 more Supreme Court justices on this court. So there's a lot at stake. And, you know, when you're looking at the contrast in this election, you saw President Biden, you know, from the White House tonight, really last night, laying out to the American people what's at stake, what this ruling could mean, how dangerous it is, especially if Donald Trump comes back into the White House, you know, what he could do with this type of immunity. It's truly terrifying. And again, this is a reason why President Biden is running for re-election. He's the only person who beat Donald Trump. He's built the broad coalition that is necessary to beat him again. And it's critically important that the American people understand what the contrast is and what's at stake.
For the American people, for a number of people, there are still concerns on the heels of last week's CNN debate about the president's mental fitness. In fact, we're also hearing from lawmakers more now. Congressman Mike Quigley, when asked this morning if the president should step aside, said very clearly it needs to be Joe Biden's decision, but he followed up with this. Take a listen.
We have to be honest with ourselves that it wasn't just a horrible night, but I won't go beyond that out of my respect and understanding President Joe Biden, a very proud person who has served us extraordinarily well for 50 years. But it's his decision. I just want him to appreciate at this time just how much it impacts not just his race, but all the other races coming in November.
Congressman Quigley concerned about the impact there on down ballot races, but it also sounds like he is very clearly concerned that this was not, as many in Biden world have claimed, this was not just one night, Adrian.
Yeah, well, a couple of things. First of all, you heard President Biden say in North Carolina at a rousing rally on Friday that he's not the good debate. He's not as good as a debater as he once was. He made that very clear, but he also said he tells the truth. And then he laid into all the lies that Donald Trump said on that debate stage. And Erica, we put out information that you may have seen over the weekend.
Okay, and then I'm just going to cut it there because then she just lies and lies and lies. In other words, again, they're going back to this good versus evil. Oh, he lies. I'm sorry. No, the one that we keep catching in the darn lies, thank you very much, happens to be Joe Biden. lying about everything. For goodness sakes, he's the guy that in the 2020 debate with Kamala Harris and the rest of the Democrats actually stood there with a straight face and said, I think that they should stampede and storm the border and we should welcome them because we are the United States of America and historically, that's what we've always done. And then he wonders why on earth he's got himself such a border problem. And now suddenly he says he's talking tough on the border and he's shutting the border down. This is the same guy who looks you in the face with a straight in the face and says, I cut inflation. When I got this economy, I had 15% unemployment. No, he didn't. He had 6.4% unemployment. And then he says that he was handed 9% inflation. He wasn't. He was handed 1.4% inflation. So the media keeps lying. Biden keeps lying. And Americans are like, wait a second. I know what I'm paying for my groceries. By the way, if you know what you're paying for your groceries and you're concerned about it and you are paying more, listen, I keep saying the only way out of this mess is to invest in yourself and invest in your future. You need to actually put yourself and your family first because Uncle Joe's not going to be there for you. Uncle Sam's not going to be there for you. And things are going to get worse before they're going to get better. One way to help diversify yourself and make sure that you're covered is to invest in the stock market, believe it or not. And so, there's different ways to do it and people have different appetites, if you would, for growth versus stability. And so we've created at 76 Research, my new company. I started with Rob Horton, a longtime stock picker and a very dear friend who ran billions of dollars on Wall Street for 20 some odd years and was really sick of being told, okay, you can pick this, but not pick that. Listen, we just want to pick good stocks, okay? I just want you guys to succeed. It's a little bit, if you think about it, sort of my gift back to you because I've been able to build all of this thanks to you. And I said to Rob, the one thing I really want people to do is be able to look out for themselves and be able to provide for themselves and their families. And the reality is, you know what? You want to keep up with inflation? You've got to invest in order to do that. You really do. And I get it because nobody wants to lose money. And I encourage you, when the market's going down, you don't want to look at it other than to buy. What did I say in March 2020? It was insane that the market was tanking 2,000 points. It was insane that CNN was getting so much to Wall Street. When you knew that the Federal Reserve was going to be there, you knew that Donald Trump, at least I knew, would be happy to be able to write checks and you know what? We were going to make it through. We really were. And so what did I do? I bought in a time like that. And I actually said to people, this is crazy. Got me in a little bit of trouble, just a little bit, but it afforded me the opportunity to be here with you on my own now and to be independent and to give you this. It's financial research that's completely independent of the big guys, whether it be big media institutions and have their biases. Look, I've worked in financial news my entire career. I understand the biases. Or whether it is the big institutions that Rob has worked for and they have their biases. So listen to me. Do yourself a favor. Go to 76research.com. You can also go to 76report.com. We're offering the report this Independence Day for just $1 a month. You can get a couple of months at $1 a month and then it goes to $9.95 thereafter. $1 a month. Try it. What do you have to lose, right? Sign up for 76 Report at 76report.com and use this code word. I'm giving it to you here. I'm also putting it in the show notes. $, DOLLAR. Just sign up for $1. It's important. You got to put yourself first. And I get it. People are like, oh my gosh, I don't have any money. I can't even put, I don't care what it is. $5. Then work your way up to 10 a week. All right. Try it. You can even get a bank account. I should get a financial sponsor, right? From one of the banks because one of my bank accounts, you just put it in automatically. You don't even see it. Right? So just make sure it goes in there. Every single Friday, dollar cost average your way in. Get that cumulative return over time where it's growing without getting taxed every single day. I mean, of course, unless you're in a dividend portfolio and you're taking the dividends out, go to 76 Research. Go to 76 Research. We explain it all. Sign up for the 76 Report for just $1 a month using code word $, and check out those model portfolios. We have one for basic income. We have one for growth. It's the American Resilience Portfolio. And we got another one for inflation protection. Put yourself first. It's my gift to you, $1 a month. Happy Independence Day.